Alright guys, the guest rework update just got bigger, including an anticipated skin dropping, then getting removed, an accidentally released redesign, and matching Jane Doe and Jane Doe skins. Let's get into it! So in the new update, something completely unexpected happened right when it first released. Players started noticing a skin inside their inventory that was never even mentioned in the update logs. This skin was the Treadstone Jane Doe skin. After such a long time of people waiting for this skin to finally come out, everyone was shocked to suddenly see it appearing in-game. A lot of players instantly thought the skin had secretly released early without anybody realizing. What made this even crazier was the fact that people could actually use the skin in public matches. There were already clips of players getting wins while using Treadstone, making many believe the skin was fully complete and ready to release. From everything shown off, the skin already had all of its custom animations working properly, including the unique kill animation between Jane Doe and Jane Doe. The only major thing missing from the skin was its LMS theme. However, Isaac later confirmed that Treadstone was never actually supposed to release in this update and had accidentally been added into players' inventories. Because of this, the skin was quickly removed shortly after people discovered it. Even with that explanation, many players were still disappointed seeing the skin disappear again, especially since the new update already added several Roblox game passes, while Treadstone, a skin people have waited ages for, still wasn't officially obtainable. At the same time though, this accidental release does confirm something very important. The skin is basically finished. Besides the missing theme, Treadstone already seems fully functional, which means the official release is probably a lot closer than many people originally expected. Hopefully, we won't have to wait too much longer before it properly returns again in a future update. Did you notice Treadstone suddenly appear in your inventory when the update first dropped? There was actually another skin that accidentally got revealed early in this update as well, and this time it was a redesign that many people were not expecting to see yet. This was the redesign for the Easter Ripper skin. For those who didn't know, the original owner of the Easter Ripper skin no longer wanted their skin to remain in Forsaken, which meant the developers had to completely change the skin into something new. Isaac previously confirmed that a redesign would eventually happen, but now players finally got to see what that redesign actually looks like. The skin has now been renamed to Egg Hunt Marauder, completely moving away from the Easter Ripper identity. Instead of the older horror-inspired design people were familiar with, this new version is heavily based on the 2018 Roblox Egg Hunt. The skin now has lore explaining how the character travels through time using books to collect eggs by any means necessary while wielding the joyful Periastron sword. Because of this redesign, the original Easter Ripper theme and identity are basically gone forever. However, the reaction from the community has been extremely mixed. A lot of players were instantly disappointed by how different the redesign looks compared to the original version. Some people even started comparing the redesign to a Dandy's World OC, while others straight up called it one of the ugliest skins currently shown in Forsaken. On the other hand, there are still players who think the redesign looks cute and unique, especially when you understand the Egg Hunt inspiration behind it. The main issue people seem to have is that the redesign no longer feels scary. The older Easter Ripper skin had a much darker and creepier appearance, which fit Lasher more naturally. Meanwhile, Egg Hunt Marauder feels far more colorful and cartoonish, making many players feel like it should have been released as a completely separate skin instead of replacing Easter Ripper entirely. Just like Treadstone, this redesign was also accidentally shown off earlier than intended, creating even more discussion around the update. Hopefully the developers continue updating the redesign before its full release, so more players begin to warm up to it over time. Do you think Egg Hunt Marauder is a good replacement for Easter Ripper? With Forsaken now having multiple connected characters in the game, more and more matching skins are starting to appear between them. We already know that Time and Azure are getting matching skins in the future, but players have also started noticing the same thing happening with Jane Doe and Jane Doe. One of the newest concepts people have been talking about is a matching skin set based on Rainbow Factory, created by Coconut. This concept is honestly a really niche reference, but many players still think it looks amazing. The matching set is based on Rainbow-Jane Doe alongside Apple-Jane Doe, which are characters connected within the Rainbow Factory universe. Because of that, Jane Doe's design actually looks more like a cowboy compared to Jane Doe, which confused some people at first until they realized the reference behind it. Even though it's a very specific inspiration, the designs themselves still fit surprisingly well into Forsaken style. What makes this even more interesting is the fact that Forsaken already has another skin inspired by Rainbow Factory, which is the cupcake skin for Cool Kid. Because of that, players are now wondering if this matching set could actually have a chance of becoming real in the future. A lot of people really like the idea of connected characters having matching cosmetics, especially since Jane Doe currently doesn't have many skins that directly pair with Jane Doe. There are a few skins in the game that already slightly resemble each other, like the Office skin sharing similarities with Milestone 1 Jane Doe, but they still aren't officially designed as matching sets. That's why many players think Forsaken should continue expanding this idea further. Since the developers are already experimenting with matching skins for characters like Time and Azure, people feel like Jane Doe and Jane Doe deserve the same treatment as well. Having more matching skins between linked characters would honestly make the game feel even more unique overall. Do you want to see more matching skins added for Jane Doe and Jane Doe? There also seems to be a pretty major collaboration coming to Forsaken fairly soon, and it's honestly one of the weirdest partnerships people could have expected. Instead of collaborating with another Roblox game or horror game, Forsaken now appears to be teasing a collaboration with Opera GX. A lot of players started noticing this after both the official Forsaken account and Opera GX began following each other on Twitter, which immediately caused speculation across the community. What makes this even more believable is that Forsaken has already started replying to a post made by Forsaken News, saying, "Bro, that's AI," which makes it seem like the collab is already in the works behind the scenes. Because of this, many players now think we could see the collab officially announced very soon. If this does happen, it would probably work similarly to previous Opera GX collaborations with other games. For example, Arsenal previously had a collab where players had to download the Opera GX browser to unlock exclusive rewards in-game. Forsaken could end up doing the exact same thing, where downloading the browser gives you access to one or multiple exclusive skins. Right now, we still don't know which characters would actually receive the skins. It could potentially include several survivor skins along with maybe even a killer skin as well. A lot of people are already trying to imagine what an Opera GX themed cosmetic would even look like in Forsaken. One of the best versions we've seen so far was made by Leonardo, who works with VFX and GFX. With Leonardo first showcasing an idle animation of his concept of dignity, which mainly focused on the visual effects, and it was clearly inspired by the older version of Dignity's design. Since then, Leonardo has actually gone further and fully completed their version of the skin, and it looks way more refined now. It still keeps that same core effect from the original concept, but everything about it just feels darker, more intense, and honestly a lot more unsettling. One of the most noticeable details is that you can actually see Dignity's heart, while his Void Star starts rotating around on its own when he's in the idle animation. It gives off a really eerie feeling, and overall the effects just look insane. So Forsaken still have more to come before the Azure update. What are you excited to see? Subscribe and hit the bell for more Forsakening it.